Be some of my son's adversaries. That could either be on other teams, or it could be coaches, or it could be past girlfriends. Jason is the one that got me involved. We just literally one weekend during playoffs, we binged it. It was great.
Swiftiverse chaos? Always. First up, Donna Kelce pops into the Traitors, quietly shouting out Travis, Jason, and Taylor like it's a mom flex speedrun. And then, Taylor skips the Golden Globes, but her songs still run the room, basically haunting the ballroom in designer heels.
Tell us what song, because I know you love your Taylor. You love the jams.
I never go out of style, is all I'll say.
And then, Bebe Rexha jokes she should hire Taylor as her manager, because if anyone can plot a comeback, it's Miss Mastermind. And then, Chiefs fans want Andy Reid to sweet-talk Travis into one more year. And then, Swifties spot Taylor's Sancerre and start a wine stampede. Picture this, you're 73. You've already raised 2 human wrecking balls who became NFL legends, and now you decide to swerve into a whole new lane by pulling up to a spooky Scottish castle to play mind games on reality TV. That's Donna Kelce on the Traitors, basically America's favorite football mom showing up like retirement never met her. She walks into the season 4 premiere with that classic warm mom energy, but you can tell she's also buzzing because she never expected life to hand her something this chaotic this late in the game. She frames it like a reinvention era. The kids are building their own families, so she's collecting new experiences like Pokémon cards. Except the cards are paranoia, cloaks, and potential betrayal.
When you get to a certain part in your life and your kids are starting their own families, it's so important to reinvent yourself, do the things you've always dreamt of.
And because she's a Kelsey, she can't just exist quietly. She casually sprinkles in family shout-outs without doing the whole "hi, I'm related to famous people" routine. Travis and Jason come up as the reason she even signs up, since they're apparently massive fans, and Jason got her hooked during a playoff binge-watch weekend, which honestly sounds like the most aggressively wholesome gateway drug ever.
Jason is the one that got me involved. We just literally one weekend during playoffs, we binged it. It was great.
Then she slips in a little nod for the New Heights crowd too, like a wink to the 92%ers, because even in a medieval murder mansion, you still have to feed the fan base. Now add a little pop star seasoning. Insiders clock her tossing in a Taylor Swift reference early, basically saying Swift's whole revenge vibe gets her mentally ready for the castle's ruthless energy. It's giving, don't get mad, get even, but make it strategic and slightly anti-coded. She also jokes about the nightmare scenario of running into familiar faces connected to her sons, opponents, coaches, and yes, even past girlfriends, because nothing screams tactical gameplay like accidentally sharing breakfast with your kid's old drama.
Be some of my son's adversaries. That could either be on other teams, or it could be coaches, or it could be past girlfriends.
The wild part? For someone who insists she's just a regular mom, she's secretly playing as a traitor the whole time. Problem is, she leans a little too hard into fangirling and wholesome sincerity, and the game demands alliance building and social chess. By episode 3, the room sniffs it out and she gets banished, but not before going full feed her kid with it. She basically accepts her fate like a sacrificial lamb, then spins around and drops the mic by announcing she's a traitor anyway.
I know, I'm the sacrificial lamb. I think I'm gonna go, but you got yourself a traitor!
And while that mic drop energy was still echoing in the air, Taylor Swift was pulling another classic power move, showing up everywhere without actually showing up at all. The 2026 Golden Globes rolled on just fine without her physically in the room, yet somehow her presence was louder than half the celebrities actually seated there. It felt like the award show accidentally turned into a Taylor Swift listening party because her songs kept popping up as background cues like an uninvited but very welcome main character. You blinked and boom, another Swift track slid into the mix, reminding everyone who still runs pop culture even from the couch. Sources noticed the timing was especially spicy because Joe Alwyn was in attendance with his cast after his film snagged one of the night's biggest wins. Cue the internet immediately putting on its detective hats and emotionally zooming in on his reactions. When one of Taylor's more dramatic tracks played, fans collectively imagined him sitting there questioning every life choice while pretending to sip champagne calmly. The music supervisors chose chaos on purpose because the Swift soundtrack felt a little too perfectly placed to be accidental. The vibe only escalated when the host made her entrance to one of Taylor's biggest fashion-forward bops, instantly turning the monologue into a Swift runway moment.
Good evening and welcome to the 83rd Golden Globes.
Then another hit slid in later, because why stop at one reminder when you can have several? By that point, it was clear Taylor didn't need a gown, a seat, or a camera pan to dominate the night. She just needed the aux cord.
Tell us what song, because I know you love your Taylor. You love the jams.
I never go out of style, is all I'll say.
And now apparently she might need a clipboard too, because Bebe Rexha is floating the idea of Taylor Swift becoming her pop career manager. Yup. Bebe spent the weekend on X doing what she does best, being funny, being brutally honest, and turning existential industry stress into content like it's a competitive sport. She was basically clowning her own "where am I on the pop star leaderboard" situation, and she did it with a meme that screamed, "Help, I'm trapped in the flop dimension." The setup was this whole Kia Asylum bit, internet slang for that imaginary waiting room where pop girls get parked until the universe finally decides to let them have their big moment. In her version, the Grim Reaper is unlocking doors for other artists like he's a bouncer at an exclusive club, while Bebe's still inside like, "Hello, my wristband expired?" Then she doubles down with a voice memo that plays like a comedy sketch from a very sleep-deprived prison diary. She acted like she's been stuck in this so-called asylum for approximately 3,051 business days, watching everyone else escape while she's allegedly assigned the world's worst workout routine, running on a treadmill in high heels. Because, of course, nothing says music industry wellness like cardio in stilettos while your self-esteem gets taxed hourly.
Hi, babes. It's Bebe here, reporting from the Kia Asylum. It's hard here, you guys. Sorry. They just make us run on the treadmill every day with heels on. I'm barely, eating. I'm doing vocal lessons all day, and I still suck. I'm still a fat bitch. I can't lose weight. And I just need your help. I don't know what to do. I heard Sabrina got out. Zara, Charlie, they left. They never looked back. And my fat ass, flop ass is still in here.
She also riffed on herself with that chaotic, self-deprecating humor she's famous for, basically roasting her own luck in the most memeable way possible. Fans and haters jumped in like it was open mic night, and Bebe responded like she had time, energy, and receipts. Somewhere in the replies, she casually revealed a pretty major plot twist. She isn't signed to Warner Records anymore and is now operating as an independent artist, which is equal parts terrifying and freeing, like taking the training wheels off while riding downhill. And then comes the kicker. A fan suggests she should ask Taylor Swift to manage her career, and insiders clock Bebe, immediately co-signing the idea like it's the smartest thing anyone has ever said on the internet. Which, to be fair, is rare. And speaking of rare, Chiefs fans are currently acting like Travis retiring would be rarer than a calm group chat during playoff season, because the word on the street is they want Andy Reid to slide in with a fresh offer and convince him to run it back one more year. Kansas City is staring down a we need a glow-up like yesterday moment because the roster's got holes on both sides of the ball, and the whole vibe is protect the franchise, feed Patrick Mahomes, and please, somebody get this offense more consistent than it looked through chunks of 2025. The defense needs more nastiness up front, the kind that makes quarterbacks see ghosts, but the bigger panic is on offense, where reliable weapons felt a little missing in action at times. And when the weapons shelf looks empty, people start clinging to the one Swiss Army knife they trust, Kelsey. The complication? Nobody has a clean answer on whether Travis is actually done or just dramatically considering it like he's choosing between sleep and one more episode at 2 a.m. He hasn't fully committed to retiring or returning, so the Chiefs Kingdom rumor mill is doing cardio without permission. There's talk that 2026 could be his 14th season, but there's also real-life plot happening. He's set to marry Taylor this coming July, and that alone has folks spinning theories like they're writing fan fiction with spreadsheets. Kelsey still loves the game and the fire hasn't gone out, but the body is feeling every one of those 13 NFL years like a group project where he did all the work. On his podcast with Jason, he's hinted that retirement conversations are becoming more common around the facility, and the decision basically comes down to whether he can heal up, feel strong, and honestly believe he can survive another full grind on an NFL season. And meanwhile, Taylor Swift is influencing America's taste buds like she's running a secret sommelier side quest, because suddenly everyone in their group chat is talking about Sancerre wine. The new obsession kicked off after eagle-eyed Swifties did what they do best, turning a casual blink-and-you-miss-it moment into a full FBI case file. Apparently, in the latest Taylor Swift documentary on Disney, End of an Era, there's a quick little shot in episode 5 where a bottle is just chilling near a mixing desk, minding its own business, not asking for fame, not ready for the spotlight. Too bad, because the Swiftie internet said absolutely not, we're clocking that label. It's like a wine version of Where's Waldo, except Waldo is a bottle of Sancerre and the prize is bragging rights plus a slightly bougie hangover. Fans quickly identified the exact bottle as a Sancerre from Domaine Terre Blanche, and once the name got out, boom, Taylor's wine status achieved. It's basically the holy grail for anyone who drinks white wine and also has a notes app full of Taylor theories. Now here's the funniest part. It didn't even take a long scene. It wasn't a close-up glamour shot with soft lighting and a violin score. It was a casual glimpse, like the bottle accidentally walked into frame and immediately regretted it. But that was enough. This tiny cameo was already being credited with deepening America's love affair with Sancerre, which is from France's Loire region, for anyone keeping score at home and pretending they're not Googling it mid-conversation. Sources also mention a French winemaker basically celebrating the moment like they just won the marketing lottery without buying a ticket. Because imagine selling a $40 bottle in the US, and then one day the Swifties decide it's the bottle. That's not product placement, that's Swift placement. 1 minute you're a respectable Loire appellation doing your little grape thing. Next minute you're trending because Taylor's documentary gave you half a second of screen time. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.